What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing this happy little Saturday? At least I hope it's happy. Let's see. Let's do that. There we go. We got Galaxy Geeks in the chat. I just saw them pop up here. What's up? Had to swing by and show some love. I really appreciate it, guys. Hope you're having a good weekend. Oof. Always love seeing Reactor friends pop up. It's exciting. Yeah, what's everybody been into this weekend or just this week? We've had some shows come out. We've had some crazy stuff here and there. Yeah, fun stuff. Let's see. What's up, Christian? How are you? Hey, Michael. First time I am the first person in the chat. Well, there is a first time for everything. And did they change my style for the pop-ups? It looks like they did. Huh. Well, it'll disrupt things if I try to change it now. Happy International Women's Day. Right back at you. Greatest female fictional character of all time, Scully. Go check out X-Files. Right there, 5 minutes in, not even 5 minutes in, and we got our X-Files conversation already started. Anyway, if you ask, anytime you ask me, best female character in fiction, Agent Dana Scully. Hell yeah. Anyway, shout out yours, man. Let's get that ball rolling. Have I heard of Queen of the Ring 2025? If not, it's a biographical drama starring Emily Bett Rickards as the first female wrestler, and also stars Deborah Ann Woll. Doesn't it also star Martin Cove? Because I saw Emily and him promoting it on, talking about it on Instagram. So correct me if I'm wrong. I have heard of it. I didn't really know what it was about. So who knows? Let's see, dude. Yeah, Emery's. The ads on YouTube, it's gotten so much worse. I'm sorry. I mean, it does help. It does help me in the grand scheme of things, but they've made it to where I have to have, if I try to manually insert stuff even into my own videos, it has to go through like an approval process now. And then there's ads they add, and then they'll add their own ads over top of the ones I put in there, and none of it makes any sense anymore, man. And they're really trying to make that YouTube Premium look even more enticing, I think, especially considering they just came out with a cheaper version of it. I hate Mohawk Mark in Invincible. He was a dick. I mean, to be fair, most of them were. There were those two that actually seemed like they were there for like okay-ish reasons, that they didn't really want to be doing this, but yeah, I don't know. Most of them were very disgusting. Season 4 confirmed for Reacher. I'm not sure. I'm honest. I don't know. By the way, the second season of Fierin is next year in January. I would say you have plenty of time to catch up. If I can get around to it, maybe. We'll see. I know that's like one of the big ones that's going on right now. I don't know how big. Anime doesn't do well on my channel for whatever reason, but I will still be doing Devil May Cry here in the next few weeks, so I'm super excited for that. But then again, I'm just already a Devil May Cry fan, so I was going to be there regardless. What's up, Nick? Hope your week's going good and well. I'm at bingo tonight, so we'll likely miss the stream, but hope you and the chat have a great evening. I've never once, outside of school, done bingo, so tell me how that is. What's up, D. Cole? What's up, JC? We got Janie here. How are you and your cat today? Which one? I've got so many. Everybody's doing good though. Actually, I have Jumbo with me, who's usually not in here. But yeah, let's see. I watched Daredevil and I have a great backstory that made me cry, and what a great start. Awakening of the devil after the breaking point of the character. Just watched Special Olympics World Winter opening ceremony, and I'm part of the team for 17 years. What are your favorite Kamen Rider and Japanese version if you watch it? I don't know. I think just the original. That's the only one I'm familiar with or that I've seen. I've never really dove that deeply into the Kamen Rider stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I was almost expecting seeing all of the Invincible variants going up to the real Invincible and saying, you want to get Angstrom, you got to go through us. Yeah, I do got to commend them for not throwing that in there, you know. That's some low-hanging fruit right there. Really loving Born Again so far. Rip Foggy though. Same. Though okay, I don't know how many people keep their ear to the ground as far as like announcements and stuff for like season 2. So there's definitely some things they've announced. So I'll just be vague. Well, I mean, it's public information. The creator of the show has talked about it, but like, I don't know if anybody wants to know. And I don't know. I mean, it could be simple as flashbacks, but they've said that Eldon Henson is going to be in season 2. Maybe it's flashbacks. Maybe he faked his death. I don't know. Maybe he's not actually dead. I have no idea. You know? But, I mean, even if it's flashbacks, you keep the character around, but, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, I really liked a lot of it. I think the only thing that I have a little bit of a hang up on as far as it goes that I never really had a problem with in the Netflix show was that when they're on the rooftops, like the backdrop looks so fake. And the CGI every now and then is a little distracting, honestly. And maybe this is definitely because She-Hulk had a huge special effects budget, but like him doing acrobatics and stuff looked a lot better and cleaner in that than we've seen so far in this. But when they're getting into the hand-in-hand, you know, all that looks fantastic. Still, happy International Women's Day. What's the hardest game besides Elden Ring and Dark Souls you've ever played? Me is any Ninja Gaiden series for me. Well, Elden Ring's not that hard. I wouldn't say. Not when you like level properly and stuff like that and have at least a decent build. I mean, it's hard for sure. Dark Souls also, the first one was very easy compared to the way that people talked about it, I thought. I found personally Sekiro to be much harder than both of them because so much of that is, well, you can't like build, you can't out level, you can't do whatever. It's all about timing. It is, and I know a lot of like hardcore Souls like fans didn't quite jive with that because if you're just good at timing, you could really nail the game. But if you mess up even slightly, it throws off the whole thing. And that's the hard part about it, especially with all the craziness going on. So I don't know, like, here's the thing, like, while the game overall isn't the hardest, none of those boss fights even come close to the boss fights at the end of Kingdom Hearts, of any of the Kingdom Hearts games. Namely Kingdom Hearts 2 and definitely Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 has the hardest bosses for sure. I had to turn the difficulty down to even do anything with them towards the end. For me, I know a lot of people, you know, that really hammer through those games and stuff like that can just power through them, but like some of those boss fights, especially the secret ones, are harder than anything in any of those in those games. Now, Ninja Gaiden, never played one, so I can't talk about those. I know like that series is really held in high regard as far as difficult video games, but I've never actually played one. Just finished watching your Owl House reaction. I can't stop laughing as your reaction to the hand dragon. I just can't. Like every time I see it, I'm compelled to like do the face, like where it's just this, and I'm just like, hey, you know. I don't know why. I see the face, and I'm just like, ooh, and then I'm like, hey. Also, Rip Rex. I never thought I would cry over him. Yeah, dude. And it probably would have impacted me a little bit more if they weren't really clearly building it up the entire time. But it still hurts. It still sucks because I really grew to love his character, especially after his arc and all of that. Well, about 30 minutes from the end of bingo, and I've won nothing. Surprise. That's how they get you. Did you enjoy that Invincible episode? I did. Those variants were something else. Poor Chicago getting hit again. And not just Chicago this time, but multiple major cities across the planet. Not just in the US and shit like that. They were tearing things up all over the world. Yeah, that was rough for everybody involved. What's up, Emery's? This was when they popped up. I'm not sure if they're still here, but thanks for always popping up every now and then, guys. Let's see. Red Storm, hello. Avik, what's up? How are your injuries? They're doing okay. I mean, after it's scabbed up, it's a lot more prominent, noticeable than I thought it was going to be. But they dug in deep into my skin, man. Like, I felt the claws curling through my meat. But everything's fine. Like, it doesn't hurt or anything like that, but not at this point. Hell, technically it didn't really hurt that much when it happened. It was just so shocking. What a week for reacting, for sure, dude. That Invincible episode is way beefier as far as like view count than I expected it. I've got more views than both Daredevil videos together. What's up, Ethan does everything? Do you indeed do everything? Hey Omni, do you still collect physical media? And if you don't, are you possibly to do it? Am I going to do it? Am I looking forward to doing it, or I'm doing that? If it's something I actually really care about, or hell, in some cases, the only way to get something is physically, and through the grapevine and stuff like that. Like, I still collect some things. Like, if I really care about it, I'll get some physical stuff, especially because even through streaming and whatnot, you can't get the same quality as you can from a Blu-ray when you're watching it. My most recent purchase was this redubbing, basically a redub and unlocalization of the Digimon movie, actually breaking it out into the original 3 films that it was like Frankensteined out of, but also taking out and removing all of the localization with the original actors, at least as much of the original actors as possible. But like an example of, you can't watch this anywhere digitally or order it. You can't buy this. So I had to get this off of eBay. Like, there's nowhere streaming this. Fox, I assume Disney has the rights to this, but it's not on Hulu, and it's not on, since they have X-Files, and this is same creator, same channel, same everything. Might as well. It's not on there. Same with Lone Gunman. I also had to get that. So I don't know. For things that I care about, yeah, I want to make sure I'm always going to be able to watch it. Like, but I mean, even that can be super inconvenient at times. Like your Invincible episode 7 thumbnail, I had a hard time trying to decide which ones I was going to include. I didn't want to just have 2 Mark variants, but I definitely wanted Mark himself, and I just feel like I had to use the Omni-Man one. The Omni Mark, and whatever that other one was, the one with the yellow one with the cape. Have I seen the leaked Powerpuff Girls trailer? Yes, I did. And boy, oh boy, did we dodge a bullet. I knew we dodged a bullet when that was no longer going to be coming out, but that trailer is, honestly, it's about as bad as I thought. It was terrible. Poor Chloe Bennett for having been even considered in, not even considered, she was going to be in it. Not good. What's up, Adriana? How are you? I'm doing good, doing good. Yes, for Pop YouTube. Yes, indeed. Listening to Boring Again intro music for the past few days on loop. I think I'm addicted. I still miss the original intro song, but they keep it in the actual score. You know, it still plays when Matt is doing his Daredevil stuff. You know, they still kept his theme in the show, but changed the opening intro altogether. While visually it's similar. Instead of the wax dripping, it's the or blood. I always thought it was wax, but I guess it could have been blood. But the red goo dripping in it over and illuminating everything, now we actually have the statues that were formed falling apart as the foundations crumble. Oh my god, I just finished Arcane and oh my god, it's fucking amazing. Well, look who's late to the party. But yes it is. What's up, Roden? How are you, man? Dude, we are not that far away from Last of Us, are we? I need to do a refresher on part 2. Even though I think they said they're going to be changing a lot more than I think we initially expected. So I'm curious what's going to happen. So I need to refresh myself before we get into it so I know what's what. Foggy Rex, the maid, rookie, all in 1 week. Yeah, dude, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if we're like looking across the board at the various shows we cover, yeah, we had a lot of character deaths this week. 2 in Reacher, then Rex, and then Foggy. Good God. Damn ads. I think that was the same one I called out earlier. What's up, Ronnie? Favorite episode of Hell of a Boss? Overall, I think it is episode 2-7. I think. The Mammon special. I'm pretty confident. It's either that or Oops, but it just depends on my mood, really. But usually, most of the time, I think the Mammon episode is probably my favorite so far. What's up, Logan? Doing good, doing good. Froze? Is it froze for everybody, or is this just a Cassandra situation? Let me know. I feel like more people would have been popping up. I haven't seen anybody else mention it. What's up, Darkly? How are you? Last of Us season 2 trailer coming soon. Have you already gotten to see it? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see what they're going to do and what they're going to do differently, but I'm also sad because fucking Drucky Boy had to go and backpedal on his comments about part 3. Commit, you bastard. If we don't get a part 3, I'm just going to be sad. I'm getting some weird ads in general. About that, I can't control. Hey, just to be clear, I can't control what ads get shown. That's all based on your personal YouTube algorithm and what they think you want. Jazzy, which episode out of the 2 Reborns was my favorite? My favorite was episode 2. Yeah, I think my favorite out of the 2 was episode 2, especially like watching Matt be this like tea kettle that is just building up as the water is starting to boil, and then it finally, the whistle goes off when those cops push him just a little too far. Yeah, I don't know. I think I liked overall episode 2 so much better. What's up, Summer? How are you? Happy Saturday. Got a new job. I'm so happy. My favorite female character, Storm. My favorite female historical figure, Zheng Sisao, the pirate queen. She's fantastic. Yeah, dude. That her whole story is fascinating. Historical, I might have to meet you with that, you know, to be honest, because her whole shtick was really interesting. But yeah, good. Storm, very strong pick, I'd say. How would you rank Dante's outfits from all of the Devil May Cry games 1 through 5, reboot included, regardless of the quality? And I'll tell you that one's at the fucking bottom. But if we're talking like look wise, I'm gonna go 5, 4. I mean, 4 is almost the same. Yeah, 4 is basically the same, almost. Not very, there's a couple, he's aged, that's the only real difference. So I'm just gonna go 5 and 4. And then maybe controversial, but again, this is appearances. 2, 1, 3. And then the reboot. If the marks are stuck there, would they kill each other? Probably. I'm sure most of them would get tired of the others and then they just be alone. Mine is horror movies. This is going to give away my age. Karen Black. Look her up if you don't know. Karen Black. Sounds familiar. Yeah, okay, I do recognize her. Hold on. Filmography. Let's see. You know, I recognize her. I haven't seen shit she's done though. Still scrolling because she's gone on for a long time. Yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, nothing I've actually seen. Taking a break from playing 2 Point Museum for stream. What is that? Just checked, and yeah, it does star Martin Cove. Yeah, because I think he's like her trainer in it. I don't know. For me, the most favorite to least would be 2, 5, 4, 3, reboot. Then the first Dante design I'll say is underrated. I don't dislike the first design, but I'd probably put it at the bottom. But for all of 2's faults, it definitely had a vibe visually that I really liked. I liked the overly gothic aesthetic of it all, especially, I don't know, something about Dante's garb, like the vest with the tails that come out. For some reason, I kind of dug that when he ditched the coat, you know? I don't know. New program for showing chat messages on screen? No, it's the same one, but I guess my settings got changed, but I don't really want to mess with it at the moment. But I guess I need to, because it's overlaying. Oh no, that's YouTube doing that. Hold on 1 second, because I can just do that. Where are you at? Or there you are. Found it. I don't know why it reset my settings. There we go. The mark that was mocking Shapesmith as he was dead on the floor was so disrespectful. And that one was like a sadist and a masochist. So I guess he was a sadomasochist because he loved dishing out the pain, but he really loved when they beat the shit out of him too. Like he was trying to draw it out so that he could keep feeling the rush, and got disappointed when they all buckled. Can't believe Rex is actually gone. Same. Believe me, Fierin is peak television. Also on a bit of a Spawn kick, and I had this thought, why hasn't Spawn been in a new game or at least a new show? Because Lord knows what's going on with the movie. Yeah, that movie, I don't know. We are severely lacking Spawn content for as awesome of a character as that is. Like a game, an anime, something. Like, come on. Like, it's such a great IP to play around with. And I feel like there's a hunger for it, for sure. And I don't know, again, I don't know what the hell's going on with this movie. Hell, Death Battle just did Spawn versus Ghost Rider, which was a wild pairing to put together again. That got me back on a Spawn kick as well. Rex has been gambited. That's true. I kind of thought that as well. So what do you think is going to happen with the other Invincibles? I assume they're just going to die stranded there. So do you think the second Darkwing is also dead? They are assuming that he is. And I mean, if he's not back, because he could just trap anybody he wants to in that zone and just leave them there, but he never came back. So I'm assuming he can't come back at this point. That's my assumption. Speaking of Daredevil, just watched the first episode of season 1, and all I'll say is, how the hell did it take me so long to watch it if that's just the first episode? I'm in for a wild ride. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Let's see. Coming up on 200 episodes of One Piece. Congrats. How has your journey been so far? It's been a lot of fun. The decline in viewership has been a little disheartening, and it's been making it harder and harder to like motivate myself to edit and record some of the episodes. But I'm still like, when I'm watching it, I'm fine, but when I'm thinking about it in the YouTube part of my brain, like, I do get a little sad at the moment because it's just like steadily dropped off. And again, I don't know if it's just this arc. I've heard that a lot of people don't like this arc, so I'm hoping it's just the arc and we're about to reach the end of it. But we have a kind of a chunky filler that is coming up on here here around the corner. Let's see. Daredevil, the lowest budget MCU show, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. They said Agatha was, but that was for Disney Plus. So I don't know how that compares to the budgets Netflix was giving them. Now, the only one who sees Darkwing and immediately thinks Duck. No, you are not the only one. And Seth Rogen, I know you're not watching, but off chance you are, where the fuck is your reboot? I've been waiting for 4 years, 6 years now, I think, at this point. Get it done. What's up, Aunt Gar? Long time no see. I would like to ask, how scary would it be if MV Gigan is the Muto's natural predator and was designed to fight and kill them? And how would Godzilla fare now that he's evolved? Evolved Godzilla would put up a much stronger fight. But as far as like Gigan, I hope Gigan shows up at some point. I think Gigan's a sick recurring kaiju. But I think he'd do pretty decent against him currently. Again, I hate that we blew our load with Ghidorah so early, but yeah, I don't know. I think he would have an edge, but I don't think he would just outright raffle stomp evolved Godzilla right now. It's a Big Bang. How are you? How do you feel about them killing Foggy off in just a couple of minutes? Didn't sit well with me. I mean, it didn't sit well with me in the way that it made me sad, but I was also kind of expecting it. So I'm not like hurt by that at all. Like, especially with the fact that we're going to get more of him in season 2 somehow. Don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I get why they did it. And there's probably some other reasons behind the scenes as well. But, I mean, any character, or especially for a beloved character like Foggy, like it's gonna hurt, man. But I like what it's doing to Matt. I like what it's done to the team and what it's given them to kind of struggle with at the moment. And I think it's gonna be kind of fun. Especially at least but if they undo it though, like what's that gonna do? Like if he does come back, and it's not just flashbacks, because it could very well just be, hey guys, you'll get to see more of him, but it'll be like flashback stuff that they've been up to since we've been gone, you know, between the gap between season 3 and Born Again. So I don't know. Who knows? It's okay to call him Darkwing Duck on purpose all the time. Honestly, Foggy being almost gone almost made me quit. I decided to stick it out, but I have a theory he's still alive. You're not the only one. I can overlook the CGI in Daredevil Born Again because it's just a few seconds. It is just a couple of seconds. And it's not that often. It's only when he's really doing anything acrobatic. That's usually the only thing that shows. And then again, the rooftop backdrops, hideous. Let's see. I have a feeling we're going to need Alan and Nolan to show up for the finale. I think they might. I think we might end with them showing up to help Mark. And then we'll be left in a very interesting spot between seasons. Why are injured? Did I forget something? I was trying to take a nap yesterday, and I could come up with a badass story that would be a lie, but the truth is I was trying to take a nap, and I was just curled up in the bed, and I guess 5 of the cats got the zoomies all at the same time, and they were chasing one another through the house. It was like a fucking cat NASCAR race. And the track ran right into the bed, and one of them, I don't even know who it was, like, cause it happened so fast. One of them used my forehead as a parkour thing, like not even a jumping board or springboard or anything. Like, they used my face to do like a 90-degree turn. So that means they clawed onto my head, or not intentionally, but and just dragged their claws across my face, because they skidded across my face and then just took off running against the other ones. And I just had blood running down my head and everything, man. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Oh, I was kind of pissed. Parkour. Big Bang Theory, I love your enthusiasm, but my man bled out on the street. Daredevil hurt his heart. Stop. We'll see. Sort of explains the appeal of Ninja Gaiden. Imagine a game with Dark Souls level difficulty and Devil May Cry type combat, with the importance of parrying and dodging from Sekiro. It is like, if you got, yeah, it is. That's a great way to talk about it. I think that's a good description. I've watched people play it. I've never played it. But that's what it looks like, because it's high speed action combat, but it is super hard, and timing and dodging are super important. So you have to like combine all of these different things together from these multiple genres, and I think that's the lovely part of it, you know. But I don't know if I would take that challenge on. Let's see. What happened? Just explained. So don't know if you've ever seen it, or if this is even the right place to suggest it, but do you know Killing Eve? I know of it. I have heard of it. It's a great show, but also would be down to see your reaction to it. I think if it's not, I'm gonna take a note to just check, but I think it's on our reaction poll. So our next one will go up after we're done with Heartstoppers. So if it's not on there, I'll add it. I made a little side note for it. Then we time skipped 1 year later. By the way, I thought Echo was good. I wish it was longer. I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. I thought, you know, it definitely had pacing issues, as a lot of their shows do, but I liked it. I actually enjoyed the lore, the mythos, and her story. There was some things that I thought were a little not so well done, and it was mostly I think that's just the flashback stuff and stuff like that, but I enjoyed it overall, personally. I think it was just one of those things that it needed a little, maybe another episode or something like that. Glad you liked it as well. Little cats going woo. What's up, Lonely? What's up, Dawson? Loving your can't talk reactions to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. You are not ready for what is to come in a few days. I've seen that comment heavily echoed. Let's see. I know what you mean about Kingdom Hearts bosses of any series. I did play both the original and remastered of Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and for me, the hardest boss in the first Kingdom Hearts, I'm gonna imagine it's Phantom. I think that's the most annoying boss. You know, Sephiroth in the first game is a pain in the ass because the upgrade system is too long to level up. Normal final boss are ridiculous and hard in the rest of the series. The hardest boss is, I mean, I haven't even finished the the rematch fights with the Organization 13 members in 3, because they are just insane. Like, the people that are able to get through those fights, I just don't have the willpower or time anymore to really kind of hammer that out. And I've beaten Dark Souls 1, fine, swam through that. Elden Ring, fine. Sure, the final boss of the expansion, you know, I've hammered through him like maybe 50 times before I beat him, but I beat him. Got his little routine down. But like, these like bosses in this game, man, they are another level of patience and timing and skill. And the thing about those fights is they're fast. Like, I gave up a long time ago. Like, even on Kingdom Hearts 2 for Lingering Will, that took me 7 straight days, and that was also on top of trying to find ways to over level. So I, like, between all of my different attempts, but then again, I made it a little bit harder than I needed to, because there's like an insta kill move that he does that I was playing it the Japanese version. So like, there's a command prompt that comes up and you have to hit the right button, but then the button is moving on your command deck. So I'm just like, I just guessed because I can't read it. So I never knew. So it was, every time that happened, it was just like, well, let's roll the dice and see if I survive. Yeah, there's some classic Doctor Who episodes I wanted to watch, but I would have to buy the physical media. I don't wanna. Yeah, that's the hard part too, especially for stuff like that makes it even harder to get. Now I'm scared of playing KH again. I mean, all of the fights I'm talking about are optional. Like, they're all after you've beat the main story. So like, you don't like, there's some like the Roxas fight in 2 that they added that was not in the original. People like to talk shit about Kingdom Hearts 3 because it came out in the state that it did, and then the subsequent DLCs added a bunch of new features, when that's just how Kingdom Hearts has always been. You know, Kingdom Hearts 2 was missing a lot when it came out, and one of that was the Roxas fight that just comes in out of fuck all nowhere in 2, and the difficulty spike between that fight, like, it's harder than the next boss fight after it and the boss fight that's before it. Like, it is a stupid jump up in difficulty. But yeah, I saw Rebecca just mentioned, now I'm scared of playing Kingdom Hearts again, and I had to jump in on that. Don't know why, but I found a fan-made concept of a Daredevil video game. I think a Daredevil video game would go hard, man. I just hope it doesn't take until episode 9 for Daredevil to suit up again. I don't think it will. I think it'll be a lot sooner than that. But I'm fine. I like spending time with Matt. And besides, personally, my favorite suit is the black one, and I don't think we're getting that in this season. It's kind of wild that Mark can't catch a break. He just got done fighting, and now this old beefy guy just shows up. I read that out of order. This beefy old guy shows up. And besides, I'm playing it on the highest difficulty, which you don't have to do. Like, if you play it on story mode or easy mode, like, you can just press X and win most fights. Just keep pressing X most of the time. Let's see. How do you think would Rogue would deal with the Sonic universe, or Rouge? Sorry. Would you want who would you cast as Rouge that embodies that sexy sassiness and deceptive nature? Who would I cast? I honestly don't know. I am very curious if they will include Rouge. I hope they do. She's one of my favorite characters, but I'm curious how they will approach that character in that vein, like you said. But I don't really have like a voice in mind. You're in for a treat, especially with whom we finally get in this director's seat in the next episode. I want tissues for these final episodes of the season. Don't tell me shit like that. That's setting up an expectation. Who's gonna be? Unless it's just Coulson finally gets back in the or Daisy, because she was already in the office. Maybe Mace steps down, or maybe Mace dies. I don't know. Anyway. What's up, Marcus? Dude, Ultimate Alliance. That game takes me back. Big fan of you, brother. Also a big fan of your X-Men 97 reactions, your film reactions, and along with you, Endeavor to Born Again episode reactions. Keep a good work, and much love. Well, thank you. Glad you're enjoying all the stuff we're covering. Highly recommend some of the other shows if maybe you want to dip your toes outside your waters. What's your favorite movie or show soundtracks of all time? I hope the weekend has been good. Soundtrack-wise, for movies, it might be Scott Pilgrim, or hell, Digimon the movie. Banger soundtrack. Show, probably Hell of a Boss, or Has Been Hotel, but probably Hell of a Boss. I like the songs. I think I like the contemporariness of a lot of the songs in Hell of a Boss, I think, a little bit more. Those are the first ones that are coming to mind at the moment, at least. When X-Men 97 returns, do you think they'll address the fact that Rogue attacked a military base and possible consequences that come with it? I mean, quite possibly. Who knows? Who knows? What's my thoughts on Golden Guard Hunter? He's a good kid led astray by a shitty family member. Who thunk it? Also, nepotism, but he's got a good heart. Got a good heart. Cool design, too, though. Speaking of physical media being better than streaming, Disney's Nature's Earth was released in 2009. That was released on Blu-ray combo pack and has never been on Disney Plus at all. How the fuck is it not? Is there like a licensing thing where it's maybe like somebody else? Is it streaming anywhere is my question, because maybe it was licensed out? The Yellow Cape Mark is named Sinister Mark. Oh my god. I mean, it's probably not meant to be like this, but Sinestro is what that made me think of, and he's also yellow. Glad it got canceled. Same. Fuck that Powerpuff Girls show. I really want 3 Spider and Daredevils in a room in Secret Wars and all their senses activating when they sense danger would be so cool. That would be a little sensory overload. Honestly, I am frustrated that it seems we won't get a Last of Us Part 3 after all, since Druckmann said don't count on it recently. I love that franchise. And especially in like his discussions and his commentary on 2 and stuff like that, he was like, there's definitely another story. You know, wasn't sure, but I found it. And now he's like, don't count on it. And I'm like, fuck off. Make up your mind. Also, I thought it was supposed to be wax because it looked like it had the same consistency as wax. I always assumed it was wax, but I guess like one could look at it as differently. I'm just counting down to the new season of Doctor Who. Avoided all things, no trailers, no nothing. I watched the trailer that came out, the small one, the teaser that came out after this last Christmas special, but that's it. Like the 30 seconds of like random clips. But yeah, I haven't watched the new trailer because they put out a full trailer here this week, and I haven't watched it. What other kingdom in League of Legends world deserves a series? Well, we know Noxus has one coming. We know Ionia and Demacia have one coming. But Mount Shurima? Not Mount Shurima, that's 2 different things. Mount Zargon would be awesome. Again, because I want to see Leona and Diana and that whole thing. But more than anything, the more I've re-examined the lore, I hope we get a Morgana Kayle story. But they like Janna, they seem to be beings that have retreated from the histories at the moment. Kayle hasn't been seen since the long past, and people are still waiting for Kayle to return. But I love the story of those 2 sisters, but we'll see. Keep the sister theme going. I mean, hell, it could be a prequel to everything, like a story set in the past when they were there before they disappeared. Hope we get an MCU team up between Daredevil and Spider-Man live action. I hope so as well. Daredevil director and Charlie Cox in interviews saying there are a few surprising cameos in the show. Do you think there are? I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Who's my favorite line from Vox Machina? The one that gives me the most chills is when Grog is on his back. His Kevdak is about to like take out him, you know, after he's lost, and you know, Scanlan and Pike are captured, and then the gang shows up and he gives out that cry and just yells Vox Machina, fuck shit up, and then they fucking do. Oh my god, dude, even just thinking about it still gives me fucking chills. That's the hardest line delivery in the entire show to me. I think last year I heard about the Powerpuff Girls and I was like, Powerpuff Girls looks mid, probably wouldn't happen 2025. Magah. Yeah. The 2-minute long ads throughout the Invincible episodes are annoying. God, that's ridiculous. Feel free to spoil Invincible for me. Do we at least see Spawn or Witchblade or any imagined comic characters or image comic characters? No. We did get Spider-Man, and well, I mean, that's Marvel, so I assumed we wouldn't. We didn't get Spider-Man. There was no Spawn. I don't think Amazon is going to fork out the cash, even though they have the cash, to loan these IPs. So any of the crossovers that Invincible has had, barring Fortnite, because they did that, they're not there. So there is no Spawn, there's no Witchblade, so none of that happens. I wouldn't expect any future crossover stuff like that that's in the comics to happen either at this point. What are my thoughts on the My Adventures of Green Lanterns animated series in the works? I'm excited. I'm glad we're getting more stories, more characters, more heroes in the My Adventures with Superman universe. May I ask you a question? How do you feel about story-heavy video games like The Last of Us getting live-action adaptation treatments? Personally, I feel like it's not needed because the games like The Last of Us already utilize a bunch of traditional filmmaking techniques in terms of crafting their cutscenes and gameplay, you know. I do feel like a lot of it's very redundant. What the show adds is perspectives that we are not locked into as the player. So in The Last of Us Season 1, we get to see a lot of characters, one that didn't exist because we were locked in as Joel, who doesn't give anybody the time of day to humanize them. And the show does a lot of that. We spend a lot of times with characters and factions that were just generic enemies, keeping us from our goal. And like the show allows them to expand so much on things that were not in the game. Hell, sections that were cut from the game were included as well. So like there's benefits to it for sure. But obviously there's still the running in is like, well, this is already done really well. And there's some things that definitely still the game does exponentially better than the show pulled off. But I think they each added their value by being able to do something with this long form narrative that the game just simply couldn't do and struggled to do a little bit in part 2, the game, which makes me wonder how the show is going to handle all these additional perspectives. What's up, Jordan? Hope you're doing good, enjoying the weekend. Right back at you. Good Vibes is here. How you doing? Do you agree that with the bad takes that The Last of Us Part 2 could have been covered in one season? No. I'm the one that said it might need. I'm the one that said it might need 3 seasons to adapt it. At their current pace and budget, it's impossible to do it in one without cutting out like 75-50% of the game, maybe. And that's if you even, I don't know. Yeah, no. Anybody that says it can be done in one season is just trying to get attention. Even Dude Hi from the UK. I cannot believe Wild Robot lost the Oscar. Every year, my faith in these awards gets shaken more and more. Shawshank, Private Ryan, still never seen, and now getting overlooked. For fuck's sake. Yeah, man. I don't know. What was it? Flo? Who was the winner? Was it Flo? I think it was Flo. Never saw it. I know Gigi did a review on it, but I haven't watched that because obviously I haven't seen it. But Wild Robot is still my favorite episode of 2024. Movie of 2024. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't say. But the wild robot was just amazing. Frank's not going to be happy about the tattoo. And do you have any history on the Punisher tattoos? I mean, do I have any personal history? No, but I am fully aware of the real world history and timeline of the uses and implications of that tattoo. I think the first recorded problematic public use of it was in 2011, and they eventually addressed it in the comics, and then, you know, it became more and more prominent, I think around 2017, 2018 and onward. But yeah, Frank wasn't happy in the comics. I'm sure he's not going to be happy now. Do you think that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will make a cameo on board again? No, because they legally cannot include him in the Disney Plus shows. Spider-Man cannot appear outside of films in live action unless he shows up animated. If we don't get a part 3 of Last of Us, that would suck. Kind of dampens my excitement for season 2, even though I'm already hyped, kind of. Yeah, I get that. The Owl House used to be on my Disney Plus XD and Disney Channel in Canada and Amphibia. However, Amphibia and the Owl House were removed from airing on Disney. Hope it comes to Blu-ray, but Amphibia is back. See, that's the thing with like licensing outside of the country and stuff like that. It's always real finicky about all of that. On top of already the complications that comes with licensing products and shit like that. Crazy stuff, man. Daredevil Born Again premiere was very disappointing. Not horrible, just okay. Cool opening though. Conflicted about Foggy and a few good scenes, but overall kind of boring. I don't agree. Episode 2 fights were badly cut. Again, I don't agree. I've seen that similar I've seen that also echoed, but I didn't have any issue with the fight editing in the second episode. I thought that was the cleanest fight personally. I don't give a flying Foggy about any of these new people, not just because they're new, but I just don't feel the charisma or any oomph. It kind of drags, still rooting for it though, just underwhelmed. See, I'm on the complete flip side of that. Love the new characters that they've introduced, the therapist character. I like his new current partner. She's fun and scrappy and trying to help, you know, we still got Karen. You know, we still got some familiar faces. Cherry, I like him. He's a nice little grounded heart cop character here that's now his little private PI. I'm curious about Hunter's character and what's going to happen there. I think I have a good idea who he's going to end up being. And then Hector Ayala. I really like what they're doing with him. I mean, we haven't got a lot, but I like the framework so far. But hell, like going back and rewatching even the first season and stuff like that, sometimes the fights weren't cut the best. There was a lot of cutting, and especially in some of the Fisk fights. Dude, rewatching, because I wasn't sure how it ended, I rewatched, I wanted to make sure I remembered the deal that was made at the end of season 3, so I rewatched it. That final fight between Fisk, Dex, and Matt was kinda rough around the edges. To say the least, and I didn't remember it being that way, but I think I don't know. We'll have to wait and see more. It's just the first 2 episodes, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a lot. I don't know if I don't know what my expectations were. I just think my expectations were met, so we'll leave it at that for me. The next episode of Agent Shield is so good. You're going to be so excited. Can't wait for you to be surprised. Can't wait. I'll be watching it tomorrow, I think. Started watching Daredevil. It's really good. I can see the hype surrounding the new show. Matt Murdock might be my favorite Marvel character. He's my favorite MCU character, for sure. Now that we can officially say that. Hold on. I got to let it jump out. There we go. Get out. Love it, love it, love it. The original Daredevil though is still my favorite piece of live action Marvel media, like even including films and stuff like that. Let's see. Did I drop my chapstick? Because I can't find it and my lips are dry. I don't see it. Oh, hold on. Here. Curled up with my blood blanket. Oof. And we are 40 minutes behind right now. Goddamn. Thank you. How do you think Invincible is going to handle Conquest? Being so frustrated with himself and everything that happened within 3 days, do you think he will give in to his rage or still hold back? Hey, like you said, he's in a bad mood and he wants to punch something. I think he's going to, I don't know if he'll win per se, but I think he's going to unload all of this shit he's been bottling up. Because at this point, he made the decision that he was going to kill Angstrom. So, who knows? How would a live-action Scooby-Doo series having a similar vibe to Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, but as a bit of a horror element to it? How would it what? You didn't finish that sentence. But, I mean, that sounds like a cool idea. I'd be down for something like that, like actually commit to the horror aspect of it without being like egregiously dark. I don't want Scooby-Doo to be like cynical or edgy or anything like that, but Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated had a pretty decent vibe to it. And if you do that in live action, but like lean horror into the mystery, I think that would be fucking awesome. Thought Eve was gonna die in the hospital. Her dad still is an idiot. Her dad is the worst character in the show. Fuck him. I thought they would do that Spider-Man meme with the different marks. Yeah, I kind of thought something like that might happen, but I feel like given the craziness going on, it might kind of disrupt the tone. But, oh well. My favorite movie soundtracks are Disney Nature's Earth, Mission Impossible, Fallout, Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick does have a very good soundtrack. Let's see. Whenever I see Powerplex, I think Jesse's screaming to Hank about Walt. He can't keep getting away with this. I was hoping they would put that line in there. I mean, he said some things that were vaguely similar, but just like you, that's all I could hear in my head. He can't keep getting away with this. Science, bitch. So let me get this straight. We gave our Red Boys, Omni-Man, Rex redemption arcs, or at least we're still doing Omni-Man's, but Eve's dad is still an ass. So far, that seems to be tracking. How am I reading the chat? StreamYard. StreamYard is how I am popping it on the screen. I'm reading it on the pop-out chat, but I can pop it out onto the screen using StreamYard as an element in my OBS. 2 Point games are funny, cartoony management sims. 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Campus, and now 2 Point Museum. Oh, okay, cool. I've never played, never heard of them. Sounds relaxing at least. My reaction to Rex's season 1: this guy's so annoying. Season 2: well, damn, I think he might be my favorite. 3: yeah, he's still my favorite. Episode 7: why am I crying? My main little gripe, I feel like they brush over his expiration so quickly. I get it, a lot of shit happened and there's a lot of cleanup. I hope there's a moment where they kind of reflect on it a little bit more later. By the way, that was kind of wild for Mark to just sit there waiting for Eve to wake up when he could be helping. I have to say, Cecil is and has been a real help. I love how he sees the bigger picture. And that's the problem with Mark. He has a hard time seeing the bigger picture and a lot of times makes very selfish decisions, which is why, while Cecil does a lot of very morally questionable and problematic things, he's looking at things on a scale Mark is not even able to comprehend. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't help but side with Cecil in a lot of these situations. And yeah, he's like, they know where this place is. If they come here, she can't defend herself. So I'm going to stay here inside by her side. Yeah, meanwhile, people out there are dying and he's talking about his guilt for the people he couldn't save and all this other shit earlier in the previous episodes. And it's just like, what the hell, dude? Yeah, Mark's been a little frustrating to say the least here, especially this season. Also, a lot of his actions, at least up until last episode, have definitely given Cecil a lot of good reasons to even act the way he does. Some of my favorite female characters are Mamau from Apothecary Diaries, another anime you should watch, by the way. Jinx, Fierin, Maggie from The Walking Dead. Maggie I used to like until the later seasons, and then she just got on my nerves. I really love Karen Page during my watch. Enjoyed these episodes of Born Again. Surprised Kingpin hasn't changed his name to King Petty at this point. All the shade he threw out was great, but the cheesesteak scene took the cake. Dude, that was such a good scene. I was like, where is this Philly cheesesteak story going? And then it finally got there, and I was like, damn. Oh, I love the seeding that they're doing for them, like each being like pulled to their former selves. As much as they are trying to change and reinvent themselves and distance themselves from what they're so used to, everything has been trying to drag them both back in. What's up, Ginger? How are you doing, my dear? And how are your kitties? I'm doing fine, other than my battle wounds from the cats, but the cats themselves are doing all fine. You'll laugh at this, looking at discussing films post about Vincent D'Onofrio's response to criticism about Kingpin. Was this a recent one? Thanks for the support, dumbass. No, it did. People are simpletons, man. People like what they like. I gotta stop. Sometimes, hey, I'm human. I have emotional outbursts at times like that. So I'm reining that back. If they don't like it, they don't like it. But I feel like that is ridiculous. I'll say. That's my opinion on the comment, though. So, like, Ray, you single? Well, yes. Yes, she is. Sandwich was disgusting. Yeah, after all of that, and then he was like, yeah, that sandwich was bullshit by the end of it all. Yeah, she's a way back actress. She did a lot of Hitchcock type movies. Thanks for trying. I figured there might be something I've seen, because it's not like I haven't seen a bunch of movies and stuff like that, especially like older stuff. But yeah, her filmography didn't have anything for me. Been playing the crap out of Sonic Unleashed Recompiled, and it's insane. Ultra-wide support, 4K 60 FPS to 120 FPS, and in this game can finally show why it's the best looking Sonic game. Sonic Unleashed. Which one was that? Oh. Okay, I mean, to each your own. I loathed that game when it came out, but that was me. Do you have a little cut on your head? I have a couple of cuts on my head. Through my eyebrow, through, you know. Had a little run with the cats. Rewind a little bit earlier in the stream. You'll find out what happened. Got like jumped by 5 of my cats. Still prefer Sonic Frontiers as my favorite. I haven't played that. I'm curious about, I don't know. I'm so iffy about my Spider-Man, my Sonic games as of late. I mean, personally, my favorite is still Sonic Adventure 2. Hell, I think Sonic 2006 deserves a remake, because it needs it. It is unplayable. I don't think this is the last time we'll see Karen Page Daredevil Born Again. Oh no, it's definitely not. Definitely not. It's Spawn versus Ghost Rider Death Battle dropped. Yep. Just mentioned that. So question for Squid Game, do you think that any of the players died when they ambushed the X players? I think they did, but I can't remember off the top of my head how many or whatever. I I'm starting to think that maybe Sony doesn't care about Spider-Man too much since they've gotten no updates for movie 4 and Beyond Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse, I think that's going to have slowed down after the massive public backlash they got over the treatment of the studio, of the artists. So I think that production just slowed down. There's no way they're not going to release that. And we have a release date, I think, for Spider-Man 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. Glenn finally gets his rematch with Negan in Invincible next week. I thought I recognized that voice, but I just was not sure because he's doing a little bit of an accent, I think. Like, it's not just Jeffrey Dean talking. So, I don't know. That's so cool. I'm so glad that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is part of the cast now. Glenn versus Negan, just in a different universe. I'll tell you what saved the back half of The Walking Dead to me was Negan. Negan was the only thing that made the show worth watching for me in those final 3 or 4 seasons. What a tick if it's based on comics, then Rex wasn't Gambited. Gambit was Rexploded. OBS is what I'm streaming on. Bullseye's my favorite Daredevil villain. I love how unhinged he is, like Michael Myers. Michael Myers isn't unhinged, I would say. Not like that. He doesn't like get joy out of anything he does. He's just kind of like a predator, like a monster, like a hunter. I think it'd be a better descriptor, like a walking force of unfeeling evil. Dex is just a psychopath. I'd liken Dex, if we were going with classical horror villains, something closer to Chucky, or because Charles Lee Ray gets so much sick, sadistic enjoyment out of the pain of his victims, and maybe even Freddy Krueger, barring the child stuff. I think that would be probably a little closer. These cops using the Punisher symbol as an excuse to do what they want. Frank is not going to be happy. No, he is not, for sure. I do love One Piece, but I really can't wait for the next arc. I hope everybody else is also on board for that. I've heard the G8 arc, which is the next filler arc right after this closes, this stuff does, a lot of people seem to like. So, I mean, as I have been, I'm going to be doing coverage on it. So hopefully stuff comes back in for that. For your One Piece reactions, you should try to skip as much filler as possible. I mean, I've been cutting out a lot of the redundant shit during these episodes, but I do not want to skip episodes at this point. But I don't know. Severance Season 2 is close to done. What do you think will happen in episodes 9 through 10? I have no idea after these last 2 episodes, because there's so much side information that we've not had up until this point. I can't wait, though, to hear Mark's conversation with Cobell. Cobell and them teaming up was not on my bingo card. Bro, the way Bullseye smiles, and he smiled, cackled, and pat Matt on the shoulder like he's like, yeah, bro, what was that? You like that? Fucking psycho. That was probably the most evil thing he did, just to add that into the mix. Daredevil Season 1 had a $56 million budget on 2014 for 13 episodes. Echo was 40 mil for 5. And Agatha was less for 9. So yeah, then it was probably cheaper than, Agatha was probably still the cheapest then, but still, considering 13 episodes, it's a pretty small budget. He's like, haha, gotcha, get thrown off the roof. I got some intel from some people in the chat from the comics about Bullseye that may inform on how he survived. Maybe something that was added into the mix during his surgery, or just dumb luck. I mean, that fall is survivable. It's happened. It's just a weird twist of luck, you know. Mark with a mustache looks weird. I'm gonna not lie. Like, that was supposed to be Mark in that universe. Do Viltrumites have Benjamin Button disease? No, but they all grow mustaches. Like, that's the Viltrumite thing, is they all have mustaches, except for Anissa. Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, governor. Resurrection, it wouldn't be the first time. Electra, true. That is true. I don't know if they would go into that, but would if he was resurrected, a la Jason Todd, a la whatever, Electra, would that undercut the death? But is the benefit of having Foggy back override all of that? Yeah, Skypia gets a lot of hate for no reason, but man, the next is wild, so hopefully viewers start coming back. Because like I said, it's a lot of effort for not a lot of return, and this was just something I chose to do. Like, it wasn't like a poll vote, it wasn't anything like that. After the live action, I was like, dude, I'm fucking jonesing for some One Piece stuff, so I wanted to jump in, and then now it's just like, I thought I don't know. The excitement's not there like I assumed it would be. But I guess I mean it's a long show, man. It's like 1,100 episodes. I'm sure there's a lull for everybody during certain points. Let's see. I have to say Agent Coulson has the best funny comebacks. Mac is right up there. The humor of the show is top tier. Agreed. Cool backstory, bro. Fucking great. Kitty ninjas, for sure. How will Mark be traumatized this episode? I don't know, man. We'll see. I like a lot of the new characters, but they don't compare to Karen and Foggy's dynamic with Matt. Oh yeah, for 100%. Agree, for sure. Cat said parkour. Big fan, bro. Keep up the great work. Love the Severance reaction. Well, thank you, Macho Trinidad. I really appreciate that. Yep, they be cats. Would it be fun if there was a timeline where Omni-Man decided to protect Earth and raise Mark right and love Devi, and the timeline where Adam even went full Omni-Man? I mean, I'm sure the infinite expanse of the multiverse, probably there would have to be some scenario where that happened, right? So you don't even know which cat to be pissed at for your manly injuries. Nope. Kingpin mentioning Spider-Man makes me want him to meet him. Same. Hope it happens in a movie. Kingpin not murdering anyone scares me because you know we're gonna get there. And if it's any indication, like with Matt and the way he's been holding back his more violent tendencies and already having exploded, like, I'm wondering like what the breaking point for Fist is gonna be and just how brutal that will be. Because I heard them say that there is a scene in that, like, there's a violent act that happens to someone that is actually made the actors uncomfortable and is more violent than anything that was done in the first 3 seasons of the show, original show. So I'm curious. I mean, they've talked out their ass trying to get people hyped for certain things, because they said, well, I mean, to be fair, it was the most violent thing the MCU has done, but not most that Marvel has done, when they were talking and hyping up the violence in Echo. But we'll see. I just realized Karen lives in San Francisco, same place where Ant-Man lives, so at least she's safe over there. True. Very true. I just had this thought for a Spawn game, Devil May Cry style combat, specifically DMC5, with the aesthetic of Hi-Fi Rush, and have she spawn as a secondary playable character. Well, that could be really sick. Daredevil's super emotional, so maybe he heard Foggy's heart stop when he just slowed down and had the device that showed Nick Fury's heartbeat, so to fake his death. Also possible if there was some kind of, they knew this is a possibility. I don't know. But they were trying to not get Matt involved, to not feed the devil, so to speak. I don't know. That's a cruel thing to do to Matt, though, if they're all in on it. Next door neighbors are having a full-on party next door. I'm lying in my bed watching you. I'm younger than my next door neighbors, by the way. Tell them to quiet the fuck down. Try to sleep. Will Matt and Fisk become friends? I doubt that will happen. I'll say no, but who knows? Wilder things have happened. What do you think you're gonna walk in? That was the Ginger. I don't know about Cage Bosses, as I never sat down to watch people play it, but I will say the Valkyrie Queen from Dad of War calls a great deal of cursing. It's hella entertaining. I beat that. So That's my opinion. Devil May Cry Netflix anime thoughts, and Devil May Cry and Kingdom Hearts collab, maybe Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy collab as well. I mean, either one of those would be super cool, but I'm like looking forward to the anime. Like the clip though that they put out of him trying to come up with a good cool quip was a little cringe, not gonna lie. But this is a younger Dante, even pre-3 Dante. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with it. Addressed this earlier. Now I'm scared of the KH. I mean, again, it's got multiple difficulties. When I'm talking about it, if you're wanting the challenge, it's going to be on the hardest. So like, I doubt most people, unless you're going in for it for that, is going to do that. But I had to ramp it down to the next. Actually, no, I think to get through everything, I had to put it on normal, even for those fights. So Michael, how are you doing? Not as cool as John Wick. Now you got Keanu aura in your blood. Daredevil open world game would be awesome. We know he exists in the Insomniac Spider-Man universe. That's true. What's up, Detective Slowpoke? Longtime fan, first time chatter. Hello. Well, it looks like somebody is a little slow to hop on board. I'll be here all week. Okay, à toi. The black suit really grew on me in season 3. I loved it in season 1. In season 3, when he added the Muay Thai ropes, made it even more badass. I love it. I love that so much more than the classic red suit. My favorite suit is also the black one in Daredevil. It's just so good. I think one of the reasons they try to get away from it is it just looks like a black color swap of Iron Fist's costume, because it's almost the same exact style of what would you even call that? Mask? Almost the exact same thing. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But I think it looks sick as hell. What's up, Anatole? You've done some really great reactions: Chernobyl, The Last of Us, The Boys, Doctor Who, and many more, but I really want to thank you for your reactions to some specific shows. Fallout, that 90s show, God, I'm still so upset that got canceled, especially on that fucking cliffhanger. And my favorite show of all time, Dark. Your reactions were absolutely outstanding. I'm glad to finally catch a live stream, and thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I like that, you know, for me and for somebody who really struggles with open world games, like a show that was as authentic, I think, as Fallout was such a beautiful thing to experience, because I've watched a lot of people play Fallout, but I've never been able to like my mind won't allow me to really sit down and focus on it, especially considering the lack of time that I have these days. But having the show as a gateway into that world was amazing. And then I love that 70s show is one of my favorite shows of all time. And that 90s show was fantastic. Loved it. So much fun. It's like a show from a bygone era. Loved it. Didn't get the attention or the love that I think that it deserves. And I hope somebody picks it up down the line. And Dark, that was recommended by a friend of mine, a coworker, at one point, and I finally took his word on it. I knew fuck all going into it, and I don't even think that was a poll winner. I think I just decided to outright try that. I don't remember actually, but yeah, that was yeah, I loved it. That show was fucking mind-bendingly amazing. I love DD Black Suit better too. Glad I'm not the only one. Did you notice Fist's knuckles were kind of a little red? Wonder what's going on there. I did notice that, but I didn't remember seeing anything that would have led to that. I'm wondering if, like, in his off-screen time, if he's like unleashing his rage on something. Maybe off-screen he's like punching walls and concrete or something like that. I wondered why his knuckles were bloody, because we hadn't seen him do anything. He hasn't punched a single person this season so far. What's happened there? I wish I called that out, because I did, like, I thought maybe I just misremembered or missed something, but yeah, I was like, it was definitely something I noticed. You guys will make fun of me, but if I do piss easy baby mode. Hey, I just hey, with Kingdom Hearts, as much as I love the gameplay, the story is the best part. So whatever gets you through the end, you know. The Bullseye logo on the glove reveal happened. I got flashbacks to Daredevil movie when his hands get shot. That's a good point. The OC soundtrack was perfection. The OC did have a really, really solid soundtrack, man. Just wondering how Bullseye even got out of jail after. That's the okay. I asked this in my reaction, was that we ended season 3 with Fisk being carted off to jail, but the only reference or discussion at all we've had up until this point about any of that was that he decided to go away and recoup, is what he said, making it sound like he just willy-nilly got out of jail that time and then went on a little like vacation for Hawkeye and Echo. So I'm so confused about I hope they explain that, because Dex and him were both arrested, and it was like, you know, Dex was brought, you know, he had his surgery that was done, I assume by, you know, under police supervision. Now Dex, after his spine healed, I could buy probably broke out maybe, but I need an explanation, because we ended the season with them almost definitively out of the way. So I'm really curious about that. So Paulie killed a person with one hit and shook Reacher off his feet with one hit. He's One Punch Man. Well, he didn't kill Reacher in one punch, but yeah, sure. For now, but he'll take him out. This sad Eggman dies in Sonic. I wish he comes back in Sonic 3. We'll just have to wait and see. He should have died 3 times so far, but he was still around for 3, so we'll see. Whoever chose the music for Heartstopper in the series for Bones deserves a raise. I do like the music in Heartstopper so far, for sure. 4, fantastic. I mean, directing the actual episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. you'll be reacting to. Oh, okay. Oh, not the S.H.I.E.L.D. director's chair, but somebody is actually from the cast, I assume, is directing the episode. I'm going to imagine Elizabeth Henstridge, because she's directed a lot of different episodes. She's directed a bunch of Superman and Lois episodes as well. Hello there, it's Morbin time. Maybe Druckmann said there will be a part 3 just so people would play part 2 and watch the show with the expectation there's more coming. Maybe, it's also possible. How? Marvel Ultimate Alliance is my favorite Marvel game. I used to play the hell out of Captain America, Wolverine, Daredevil. By the way, what's your favorite mission in the game? I don't remember it that well enough to give you a specific mission, but I do remember me and my friends playing the fuck out of that game. What's up, Multiversal Archives? This is my first time on the stream. Well, welcome. How are you? Shanghai. I'm super excited for Andor Season 2. The special look has dropped so much in the way of costuming for Mon Mothma. Hard eyes. Would I watch Steven Universe? It is on the plans for the future. When that is going to be, I don't know yet. That Grog scene you mentioned is like one I come back to every time. Same. Dude, if I need a pump up, that one always does it for me, man. Just learned that Starfire show will be in Elseworlds. Most of the family-oriented children's shows I assumed would be, and he confirmed as much in a tweet not too long ago, because that could have been great setup for her to meet the rest of the Titans. Though we do have a confirmation that I think that a Teen Titans film in the DCU is in the works, so we might get a Starfire though still. I hope there is a Last of Us 3 that it comes out as a game first rather than an extension of the story and the show only. Yeah, that's the last thing I want, is that the story of part 3 just gets integrated into the show and we never get to play it. That would piss me off. Oh, whoops. I'm still haunted by the Game of Thrones going past the books. Yeah. And the fact that we're probably never going to get the books, considering whatever, like even George R. Martin said he may not ever even finish the book, which is upsetting. Invincible brought well-known actors, but that's like all they will pay for. Hey, say what you want about when they're saving their money. This episode, the Invincible War episode, the animation was good. I thought they went hard with it. And hell, season 1 did it too. It had like these spikes for where the animation was fantastic, but then there were some episodes where the animation was absolute dog shit. But I mean, they're saving their animation budget for the fights that matter, at least. We did see Tech Jacket and Wolfman cameos in Invincible War, though. I don't know who they are. I have no idea who they are. So, don't know. We got Best Tiger, Wolfman, and Brit. That's it for Image Comics and Invincible. So, I mean, the Image Comics thing, like for some of those characters, their license, their IP may not be rooted specifically at Image, which is probably where part of that problem comes from, because especially with Spawn, you know, that's McFarlane all the way. So I don't know. Never be ready for The Last of Us season 2. And directing Tech Jacket. Did you used to hate Rex during season 1? I thought he was very, very annoying in season 1, but I don't think I ever hated Rex. Tech Jacket had me hyped. I think I'm gonna make animation show about a kid finds out he's a hero is actually the villain. What do you think? I mean, go for it. It's always a fun idea. In regards to my Adventures of Green Lantern show, I was hoping that would be based on Earth 2 Alan Scott from New 52, because I think Earth 2 book was really good, but Jessica is cool. I do like Jessica. She's I haven't seen a lot of her, but what I have seen, she seems like a really interesting character. But I don't know if I would have done Alan Scott in this universe, but I think with what they're doing, Jessica works. You know, we got a bunch of other content with John, Hal, and all that, though. You know, Kyle would have been a fantastic choice as well, you know? Skip Guy. Fuck. I can't stand Guy Gardner. Am I going to rewatch The Last of Us Season 1 ahead of Season 2, Omni? Probably not. I don't really feel like a need to. I've got it pretty much seared into my mind between the game and the show. But I do need to refresh. I mean, should I refresh? I feel like as a player of the game, I need to refresh on part 2 before the season comes out. I think also having a show for a story-based game lets people who do not play the video games experience the story, because one must remember not everyone plays video games. Also, extremely valid. I like that too, because like that's okay. I want to come back to this, because this is why I think that when you have a game adaptation or a book adaptation, that you should try to be as close to the story and the spirit of what you're adapting as possible. If you want to play the game, just go play the game. I hate that. There's like you said, there's a whole multitude of people that I like for stories that I think people should experience, but maybe they're not gamers. Maybe they don't have the time for that. Maybe the commitment for it, or maybe some mediums just do not work for other people. Some people just can't sit down and read a book. They won't get into it that way. It's like, why are you going to do the same story? It's because not everybody's going to be able to access it in the same way that you did. And this allows new people to experience it. Which is why I get pissed off when you make a show like Halo and it's not fucking Halo, and you're like, oh, I'm the Master Chief. Here's my butt cheeks. God, fuck that. God, then it just misrepresents all of it, because now you have a whole bunch of people who's like, oh, this is Halo? This is ass. Literal ass. You know what? Fucking Christ. Like, I just want, like, that's why I'm like, just like, this is not there, this is not right. This is like, his fucking character arc is fucking ruined. Like, it's just awful. And like, it was like, why do you want a 1-to-1? That's boring. It was like, because for this exact reason. That exact reason. God, it's so simple. You woke up Mary. I'm sorry, but too bad. He's probably the one that fucked me up in the face. Him and Indy are the most aggressive, but knowing how stupid he is, it may have been Pippi. Anyway, Tech Jacket killed Mustache Mark. He did. The only thing I hope we get in season 2 is please more infected. Yes, please. Get ready for my arrival, worm. Flo. Also Born Again is the first time where we got the F word used in something Daredevil related, because they haven't said anything in the original show. Really? I never really noticed that. I assumed with everything else going on, that would have been a given. I sound like a dinosaur. I'll take that as a compliment. The Last of Us 2, they pulled off a Stranger Things and have a 2-hour episode every episode. That's how they'll do it. I mean, I guess that would be the only way, but that would still only equal 2 seasons, not the 3. I mean, they could, I guess, if they really wanted to double the timeline length, the run times. Flo just looks like it will make me cry. Flo is really good. My brain too big. Adapting the entire Last of Us Part 2 in only 7 episodes would be a disaster. I'm glad it's stretched into 3 seasons. Exactly. And because if season 1's any indication, they're also going to be expanding on a lot of different things that the game couldn't. Get a Hootie plush? The big old stuffed tube? Maybe. Am I the only one who thinks that there was supposed to be a connection between Daredevil and She-Hulk through Karen Page, since they both live in San Francisco? I think that might set up a connection for later, because there was that comment from why am I blanking on her name at the moment? Why did it just vacate my head? What happened? Tatiana, about possibly being on returning the favor on Daredevil. I hope we see her again. I'm still upset about how things panned out for the show. Wild Robot didn't win because it's popular. Oscars gotta suck. What do you mean Spider-Man can't be in a live action show? Legally, he can't appear in any kind of live action short form narrative series. Like, he can be in film. Part of the agreement between Sony, who owns the rights to Spider-Man, and Marvel is that he can't appear in short form media in live action. Animation's fine because Disney still owns the right to animation, but in live action, he can only appear in agreed upon live action movies. That's part of the trade-off, since Marvel doesn't own the live action rights to Spider-Man. Did you know that the big guy on Reacher has a YouTube channel and he has some awesome videos of him as Kratos? I did not know that. I did not. I have to look into that. Miss Final Space. Honora won Best Picture and Mikey Madsen won Best Actress. Well-deserved wins. I've seen a lot of people really pissed off. Well, I mean, who isn't pissed off about what wins what these days, man? But yeah. I met the person actually directing the incident. You've retyped this comment a bunch of times and I keep rereading it because I'm assuming you retracted it and then retyped it. All I can hear is drunk loud singing. Watch The Bad Batch. I have reacted to all of The Bad Batch. Okay. Saw a take that all the characters are boring in Born Again and that they are annoying compared to Karen and Foggy. I don't agree though. I love all the new characters. Same. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I see a part 2 here. Was there a part 1? Maybe this was a continuation because you didn't say it was a part 1 of 2. Maybe this was a continuation of your My Adventures of Green Lantern talk. One thing that was really cool, and it's animated by the guy who animated for the Gorillas, so you know you're going to be getting an incredibly cool looking TV show. That's cool. So yeah, let's go. What do you like more, cats or dogs? I am a cat man. I'm a cat man. Oh, where is it? The first 10 minutes of Daredevil Born Again episode 1 should have been full episode leading up to you know what. I don't know if I agree with that. Daredevil boxing versus Kingpin wrestling versus Bullseye playing darts. That's hilarious. Ever watched the One Piece live action cast interviews? I have indeed. I didn't react to a lot of it, but I have watched them in my own time. Wonder what happened to Brent, the cop and Mad and Foggy always talk to. I wondered the same thing, you know? Who knows? I don't know. I wonder if maybe he retired, maybe he died, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully we get some kind of reference at some point. Let's see. Speaking of Kingpin, do you like more as live action Kingpin Vincent D'Onofrio, Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P. Vincent D'Onofrio. I love Michael Clark Duncan. Don't get me wrong, but Vincent D'Onofrio is a far better Kingpin in my eyes. Did I see the new Amazing Digital Circus remix song? No, because I've still seen absolutely nothing of that show. So I don't know why I would have looked up that. So episode 2 of Daredevil Born Again is from the original concept before the overhaul because it gives credit to the previous writers. I mean, that's what I assumed from the first episode as well, where they probably reshot it to include that opening sequence so that, because that was supposed to, as we've known because of the reports, Karen and Foggy were both supposed to die in the original version of the show, and it was going to happen off screen. We were never meant to see it. It was going to be, we catch up to present day Matt and they are both dead. So I'm much more happy with what they did here. Both of the new female characters are from the comics. True, very true. I have not seen Vincent as Kingpin. You will, he's coming soon. Notice how Kingpin and Vanessa therapy scene, they are not in the same shot together because they are shot separately apparently. Oh, interesting. I did not notice that. So what, maybe it helps that they're so far apart too. So you can do the same shot as long as your camera's locked in the same position. Not yet. I heard somebody was. I don't think Mark's gonna win, but maybe he's gonna definitely go to survive at least. I think Nolan and Alan. I hope Nolan and Alan might show up. What's up, Omni? What's up, Jake? Trying a mango strawberry moscato in honor of whining, and today I got my whiskey out instead. The strawberry sounds nice. Mine's still I'm still trying to drain out the cherry from my reserves. Kind of wish Spider-Man had a live action show rather than movies because he has so many villains and characters that haven't really shown up in the movies yet. That would be I don't know if their budget could handle that kind of shit. But yeah. If they keep using Powerplex, they gotta make him say it. I hope so. Eve's dad is the worst dad. Omni-Man exists. Right? At least Omni-Man kind of came around. Would you want a live action Invincible? There's talks of one being in the works. I don't think I want one though. I don't know. Who knows? If it's done well, sure, why not? Who's Rex and Eve? Characters in Invincible. You should react to Girl with a Gun. I hear of it. I've never heard of it. When Eve wakes up, I'm assuming that's when we're going to address Rex's death. Maybe more because we didn't see Kate's reaction either. It's a very good point. I didn't think about that. Mark is thinking as a teenager and not as a hero. Very fucking true. Which is why a lot of what he believes is so fragile and a little naive. Do I have to get a super chat to get it up there? No, you do not. I just have to catch up. I'm like, where are we at? I'm 40 minutes behind on reading chat at the moment. Fisk, that's what happens when I go on tangents and stuff like that. I get behind. Fisk with a napkin tucked into his shirt eating a cheesesteak made me laugh. He looks so comfortable. I love that. Such a fucking power move. Recent one. Did you know that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is voicing Conquest? I did. I have been informed of such after the fact. I'm reading all the chats like a turtle trying to cross a finish line. It'll take a while, but it'll get there. Always gets there. Sandwich was disgusting. Kingpin is such an ass. Such an ass. Fisk doesn't like cheesesteaks. He doesn't like that cheesesteak. But it wasn't about the cheesesteak. It's what he found at that cheesesteak restaurant that really caught his eye. These really out there crazy casting coincidences for Conquest and Brit is killing me. Who played Brit? I didn't catch who played Brit. I didn't catch a lot of the voice cameos in that episode. I was too distracted with everything else going on. Matt is just one bad day away from becoming the Punisher. That's and I think that's what scared him so much. That Frank was kind of right. That goes back to that exact same thing that Frank said to him on the rooftop in season 2. You know? And yeah, one bad day, and he tried to kill Dex. Fate just said no. But that doesn't spare, like I said, my reaction doesn't spare him from the guilt of having even given in to the temptation. What if Baby were a Russia spy? It would be funny. I say a random thing at this time. Huh? What? I'm confused. Kingpin Wilson Fisk getting elected New York mayor, art imitating life. New York City may be a gritty town, but the New Yorkers have crappy tastes in mayors. Yep. What beverage you drinking? Bourbon or something else? It's my American honey, wild turkey. Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. Vincent's voice is so recognizable. I heard my brother watching Daredevil earlier through a door. The way his cadence is when he's playing Fisk is so interesting because it's completely different than his actual mannerisms, the way he actually talks. The fact that they got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the Glenn killer, for this worries me, but Mark will probably live. Dude, Mark is not going to die in his own show. Do you remember Carl reading an Invincible comic in The Walking Dead? Should Invincible have Mark reading a Walking... Well, Mark visited the Walking Dead universe in season 2. But that would be funny to include it, to do the reverse. I didn't know what Invincible was during that, back in the Walking Dead days, but that's kind of cool. I mean, it makes sense. Both are written by Robert Kirkman. I love how Walking Dead cast has voice characters on the show. I got my fingers crossed for Andrew Lincoln to voice someone. That's my wish. That'd be really cool. I don't know if you pay attention to the modding scene for certain video games, but the last song was Spider-Man 2, so Venom has his OG McFarlane look from his first appearance. I have not seen that. That's cool. Skip filler. We'll see. Shall we continue our weird crush conversation from last week's stream? Hey, feel the need, though we are kind of behind at the moment. So is there ever going to be another MCU Spider-Man movie? Yes. Spider-Man 4. It's still in the works. It has a rough release date at the moment. Also in regards to the next art of One Piece after Skypiea was just a panel in the manga, but the animation team wanted to give Otis some time, so they expanded it from a panel to an arc. Is that the G8 thing? I think that's the next thing, right? I've heard people love it. I've heard the G8 arc is one of the few fillers that people say you should watch. Is that right? Judgment time. No, why? What did you love about Negan? Jeffrey Dean Morgan, his charm, his charisma. He's just so fun to watch interact with everybody. Plus, I really liked his arc. Like, he was playing a character to survive. It wasn't really, I don't know. It was really interesting. Also, I can't understand your hate for the last few seasons of Walking Dead. There was a lot of good stuff in there besides Negan, in my personal opinion. That's your personal opinion. There was some other good things in there, but he was the main thing that I actually enjoyed consistently. Wasn't Dex an FBI agent in Daredevil season 3 and Kingpin broke his back? Yeah. I mean, yeah, his back did get broken, but the post-credit scene was him getting his back fixed. Can't wait to see Frank, not gonna lie. Same. Yeah, they put something in his spine. Beautiful imitation of Britishness. Well, thank you. There's a theory now going around that Daredevil Born Again is the MCU proper. I mean, it is in the MCU proper. And adamantium is part of Dex's spine, which is why he didn't die. Yeah, somebody in the comments said in the comics, Bullseye has adamantium plating on some of his skeleton in the comics. So that surgery may have been part of it. Now that adamantium has entered the chat, thanks to Brave New World. Dex is such an evil monster. He might be Matt's worst enemy now instead of Fisk. Fisk at least has care, even if it's isolated to Vanessa. Dex is a sociopathic narcissist. Hear me out. Bullseye versus Punisher. That would be a sick fight. I'm curious who would come out of that one, though, to be honest. Literally thought James Marsden was going to get the Cyclops treatment again in Sonic 3, but thankfully they reversed it on us. I thought the same. I really did as well. What's up, man? Hope you're well. As excited as you are for Daredevil, you gotta admit, S.H.I.E.L.D. has you hooked. I mean, it's had me hooked for a long fucking time. Did you watch any of the Cobra Kai bloopers? They're so funny and hilarious. I've seen a lot of their interviews and their little like cast things, but I haven't actually watched any of the bloopers. No, not for any of the recent seasons. I've seen them for past seasons, but not any of the recent stuff. I want to see that Punisher going beast mode on Bullseye. Let's fucking go. Yes. Yeah, Dex getting surgery on his back was literally the final scene in season 3. So that was most likely the reason why he immediately woke up after that fall. Depending on what they did to him, of course. Or, again, it simply could have just been fate being a twisted little bitch. The breaking point for Fisk will be someone accidentally eats his food. Or something actually does break with him and Vanessa. I suddenly realized how long your hair has gotten. You gonna let it get to the length it was before? Probably not that long again, but we'll see. It all comes down to how, if I have the energy or motivation to go get it cut. Those bloody knuckles, so poor at. Oh, so you think he may have actually got Adam? Maybe. You went against it, broke his promise to Vanessa. Didi kills someone. I hope we circle back to the time that Pun Pun said your bad day from one day from being away from me. For sure. Matt letting the devil out in episode 2, badass. I'm guessing he didn't kill those 2 cops. I don't know one. The one that he straight dropped on his neck. I don't know how that guy didn't have his neck broken. I mean, you could survive that, but that like the one he picked up and slammed on his head, I would imagine that dude would have died, but we'll have to wait and find out. Give me the broom and bang on the wall. All right, Mr. Heckles. If they're alive, what's he going to do with them? Secret identity blown. I mean, that doesn't blow a secret identity. I mean, what are they going to do? We accosted this blind man, or admit that a blind man accosted them? Self-defense. They had a gun to his head. For fuck's sake. Oh man, do you like crying? I don't say I like crying, but I'm not afraid to cry. Looks like a blind man. Fantastic. Say that again. Wait, what? I'm confused. This is what happens when I'm so behind on chat. I don't remember what I was fucking talking about sometimes. Dark is a fantastic show. Yes, it is. He can say he learned to fight to protect himself, plus his dad was a boxer. Plus, they were also all within reach, so he could have just like grabbed and just lashed out. Hey, Jerry, you can complain or you can hang out. Let's see. What's up, Restorosi? How are you? Fantastic 4. Okay. Yep. God of War game has the best soundtrack. Super good. I feel like I'm the only person who didn't watch the OC. I keep seeing people mention it. I didn't even know it was that popular. It was pretty huge while it was going on. There's a lot of it that I missed, but I know I've seen all of season 1 and all of season 4. But season 2 and 3, I kind of caught randomly. They're now playing Karma Chameleon, which is a tune and singing it badly. My guess, The Blip. Was a little confused on the... Well, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped because of the blip. Well, okay. We don't, I'm assuming this is current day, considering what Charlie Cox said in his interviews, what it was only 5 years after the end of season 3, which would set it before the blip. So, questions. I just need in-world confirmation. Rogers the Musical is out, so it has to be post-blip, right? We saw the posters in there, so it's gotta be post-blip. So whatever Charlie said in his interviews has to just be wrong. Was confused with the earlier on the director's seat for S.H.I.E.L.D. meant the other person was director and is actually directing the episode. I appreciate you finally clarifying that, though. I appreciate that. Dex threw a paper clip into a fly into a wall. I think he just broke out, killed everyone. Probably. Will you be playing Marvel 1943 Omni later this year? If I have time, man. I'm so behind in all my games. Just finished your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reaction. Glad you like. And it's getting better and better and better. Hell yeah, dude. We are the crystal gems. We always save the day. I guess that's I think that's a Steven Universe thing based on my knowledge from multiverses. I think one of the most underrated Marvel games are Captain America Super Soldier. Not great, but not bad as the other MCU tie-ins in Marvel's Midnight Suns because it's genuinely a good game. I haven't even heard of that Captain America game. Midnight Suns looked cool, but I just didn't have time, so I didn't really opt in to give it a go. I'm in love with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. How about you? Well, I think I covered that in my last comment. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil are up there for Marvel things, for sure. I was wondering about Fisk when I was watching Hawkeye and Echo. How is he out of prison? Maybe the blip. Maybe it was just that. Police force got blipped out and he just left. Or maybe he blipped. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm confused. I need them to set this timeline out straight. The last Game of Thrones book came out just before I started high school in 2011. Damn, I honestly am not reading the books anymore since we'll never get the conclusion most likely. Or it won't be him finishing it. Either way, who knows? But he said like this was like a month or two ago that he doesn't know if he's even going to finish it. So that's depressing. I like the sequence with the evil marks and the fire in their eyes, and the animation did look good there. The animation has its moments. Yeah, that was probably one of the best looking shots in the episode. A wise hedgehog once said, "Somebody better call Google Maps." Preach. Hell yeah. Heard the Borderlands movie sucked. The Fallout show worked for me because it captured the essence of the universe without adapting the story of the games. That's another thing that I like that what Fallout did that was a little bit different than anything else. It wasn't like it wasn't an adaptation, but it was authentically included in the world. Like it lives in the same worlds canonically as the other games, because every game isn't the same story or the same continuation, just the same world. A shared universe of sorts. And this is just another one of those. And I think that helped too. It didn't have to be like, oh no, they messed up that storyline, because it's just another vault in a location we haven't explored, existing side by side with the games, which I really loved. Speaking of adaptations, are you going to watch the new Devil May Cry Netflix series coming in April? As I mentioned earlier, yes indeedy doodly, I will be. Woke up Mary. I like how Fox messed up Assassin's Creed movie. I never even bothered to watch that, but the only Assassin's Creed game I've finished was the first one. Sound like a dinosaur. Hello or hell no. Halo. Or hell no. I'm more like hell no. If they made a Doom TV show and Doom guy talks at all, then I'll genuinely understand your genuine vitriol towards Halo. How some video game adaptations can be. I mean, Master Chief talks. I mean, that's not I don't understand the comparison there. Because Master Chief talks all the time. He's just reserved when he does. When he talks, it matters. You know, and his relationship with Cortana was reversed in the show. Like, their arc was completely eradicated. Like, their 5-game arc was eradicated in the first couple of episodes. Such a specific rule. I want more Golden Age comic book characters to be represented, like when the last time we saw Alan Scott in anything DC related. Yeah, when was the last time we saw? That's your point. I don't know. When was the last time we saw Alan Scott? Also think Alan Scott's outfit is really cool. Oh, he was in Stargirl, though we didn't see him. He was like in the photos and the flashbacks and stuff like that. I want She-Hulk and Madison to show up really anywhere because I loved her. She's going to be at the GalaxyCon Richmond, so I'm probably going to go have to talk to her. I have made the decision that I am going to go because Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey are going to be there, and they rarely come anywhere near this neck of the woods, so I'm going to not miss that opportunity. I'm glad you enjoyed the DVD BBA premiere. I really wanted to, like parts, but again, not okay. Okay, not bad. Just didn't hit me right. I guess I'm rooting for it to grab me and still on board. Hell yeah, man. Hold off until the end, man. That's what I do. Even when something doesn't wow you in the beginning, that could always change or help get worse. Can you watch Flow someday? It's as beautiful as Wild Robot. Maybe. Oh, by the way, I watched your She-Hulk reactions this week. Loved your rant at the beginning of episode 2. I don't remember. I'm sure there was a lot of rants, but I know one of them had a pretty preachy opening. I love She-Hulk, man. It's one of my favorite MCU shows. What's up? Hey, Nick, you're back from bingo with a takeaway. I didn't win anything, but after the last couple weeks, it was nice to meet up with my best friend of 15 years and just have a nice, fun evening. And that's always the best you can get out of the man. Just as long as you're having fun and having a good time, who cares? You're really winning in the end anyway. Speaking of Kratos, would you be willing to play a remake of the first couple of God of War games with Christopher Judge and not TC Carson? Personally, as much as I love Chris, Carson is Kratos. I mean, if they redubbed it with Judge, I wouldn't be upset. But he works for an older Kratos, so like, I feel like for younger Kratos, TC Carson just makes sense. But if they remade them, yeah, I'd probably play them. Speaking of game adaptations, okay, you reposted that again. Daredevil is definitely Marvel's Batman, pretty much. Part 1 is in regards to the show called Motor City that was on Disney Plus back in the day. Okay, so there's a part 1 that YouTube, of course, as it does for whatever reason, deleted. Pause note, Reacher has been so good this season. It's got potential to end up being my favorite shout out season 1, though, for Finley and Roscoe dynamic. Yeah, Finley and Roscoe, that whole interaction has been hard to replicate. They were fantastic in season 1, but this season, overall, so far has been just amazing. Why was there a Daredevil overhaul? I didn't hear the story. They got like 4 or 6 episodes in, and somebody behind the scenes, somebody at Disney or at Marvel was like, okay, this isn't working, and decided to scrap a lot of it and rework everything. Because originally it was going to be a reboot. It wasn't going to be a continuation of the Netflix show. And whatever they were doing at the time, they decided they didn't like it, and then they just scrapped and then reworked the episodes they had already shot, and then worked on everything else after the fact. Let's see. Last of Us Season 2 trailer dropped just now dropped. I'm not gonna have the time to react to it today, so I don't know if I'll get around to it. This might be something I just watch on my own. Oh, damn it! You saw people getting pissed at Honora and Mikey winning. Of course I did. But it's the Emmys. Oscars? Somebody's gonna be pissed about whoever or whatever winning, you know? Everybody can't win. Unfortunately, I can't speculate on Invincible because comic book reader loves spoiling the whole story. Yeah, don't do that. Speaking of Todd McFarlane, what are your thoughts on his art style and character designs? I think his artwork is fantastic. I will say they are the epitome of 90s character designs just as a whole in the best way possible. I think that is a fantastic way to describe his art style. I can agree with that. And I am skipping all of Abbas's here because he has been spamming that message. If there was an Image Comics character you think would be really cool addition to the world of Invincible, who do you think? Personally, I'd be split between Spawn and Duncan from Fire Breather. I don't know a lot of Image Comics, but there was an Image run of TMNT, right? Yeah, TMNT. Throw them into the mix. I think that would be super fun. Text to speech is dumb. Jonathan Banks voices Brit. Aw, damn it. We have Mike and Jesse in the same episode. Aw, damn it. That makes me sad because there was this report that came out that said that they've tried to get Bryan Cranston to just do any voice. Every season, apparently, they've tried to get him, and he just turns them down every time. I don't understand like that, you know? Like, it's just recording some voice lines. Why not? I don't know. The Punisher rooftop argument with Matt is one of the best scenes and sequences of any scene in any superhero show or movie ever, in my opinion. I kind of have to agree. Fisk tick he has when he's shaking his hand is an awesome addition. Yep. You see that hand? I do shit like that too. Like if you're around me and if I'm getting upset, my hand's gonna be doing something. Do you know about I Don't Want to Be Magical Girl? This good animation, this on YouTube, black and white? No. No, I've definitely not heard of that. I really don't get when peeps have crushes on Disney animals, like Ron. Ron? Oh, Robin Hood. You mean like the animal-human hybrids? I mean, it's one thing if it's like Nala or Simba, which I have heard people say, but at least they're like humanoid. I mean, like, can you not wrap your head around the Lola Bunny thing? Like, you draw anything sexy like that, man, people are gonna get jonesed up over it. Anything with those killer hips will destroy me, man. Mark is gonna get his ass kicked. Probably. I would imagine so. I have not watched The Walking Dead, but I have seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan and other stuff, and I was like, has this guy ever been in a Western? Because it feels like he would be a perfect in a way. I don't know if he has, but I agree. He lives a very Westernish lifestyle IRL. Like, he runs a farm and stuff like that, so it wouldn't be surprising. But again, him and Maggie being Bruce's parents was one of the things that I'm so upset about got wasted in the DCEU. The fact that they had both Jeffrey Dean and why am I blanking on her name at the moment? Anyway, Maggie and Negan were Bruce's parents. And that was already the perfect casting if they would have done an actual comic accurate Flashpoint and did, his father, Thomas, as Batman in the alt world. And it would have been Jeffrey Dean dressed as a villainous Batman murking people. Like, come on. That's one of the biggest wastes of an idea ever. Lauren Cohen, thank you. Thank you. Like, and her as the Joker, she would have been. Fuck. That's the one thing. One of the things that I think that Zack Snyder had his eye on the prize in a good way as far as that, and it just went nowhere. Vanessa was seeing someone else. Correct. As we've addressed. What's up, Marcus? I'm so upset they killed French maid and the agent, the ATF agent and Reacher. I know it's not Reacher's style, but seeing the way it affected him and finding out Paulie killed her with one punch, one slap to the head. I hope he doesn't kill Paulie, but fucks him up so much that Paulie is just an absolute mess physically for the rest of his life. That might be a bit dark, but Paulie deserves it. I agree. Fuck that guy, dude. Fuck him. Yeah, that pissed me off, and I felt that, and you could tell it affected Reacher, because especially after the bonding, and also the fact that he's also underestimated him, because like he said, when he punched him in the stomach, he was trying to gauge him, trying to feel him out, and he was like, fuck, he was quick, a guy that big. He didn't expect it. He's like, I gotta figure this guy out, because also he's pissed off. Do you want Spider-Man 4 to be set on Battle World? No. Fuck no. No. Battle World, if at all, will be in either of the Avengers movies. I would imagine. It's not going to be in Spider-Man 4. I hope not, at least. Did I see the Powerpuff Girls CW trailer the other day? I did. Looked fucking terrible. In regards to Daredevil, I've seen how his outfit evolves through the seasons, and I still say the Ben Affleck Daredevil suit is still really, really good, but Charlie's is still cool. Yeah, the Ben Affleck one's not bad. But yeah. The black suit, though, is still my favorite. How do you think the MCU will introduce the X-Men? Send off the old X-Fast series at Secret Wars, introduce a new team after Secret Wars, or introduce a new team in Secret Wars and have them? Probably introduce the new team and have them. We had our Fox universe send off with Wolverine and Deadpool. So I don't know. That's at least my thought on it. Is Bullseye Daredevil's Joker? Kinda. In your opinion, do you think the Batman Part 2 is getting to the point where it's dragging, or do you think otherwise? Probably dragging a little bit. Even Robert Pattinson here recent was like, I started off as young Batman. By the time the second movie comes out, I'm going to be old Batman. So like, I think they really need to speed that shit up. Hope he doesn't kill Paulie, but fuck, I already read that. Yeah, sorry, I fell asleep for some, but now I'm here. All good. It was supposed to come out 4 years ago and it got canceled, but because it was bad after I saw a YouTube video of the script, and I'm glad it got canceled. It would have disrespected the franchise. I did read one of the initial scripts that leaked as well, and yeah, no, fuck that. I agree. I'm glad it never came to fruition. It sounded super disrespectful. What show would you want to watch for the first time again so you could react to it? Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just because it's just so genuine, authentic, and timeless. And plus, it's great for YouTube. That's the one thing I lament. I was like, damn it, I've already seen the show like 5 times. And now it's on Netflix, and every reactor is discovering it for the first time and getting like some channels got their whole growth out of covering Avatar, and I'm just like, heh. But then again, I was like, look at all this Avatar to revisit, because I watched, I think, almost everybody's reactions once Avatar came to Netflix. I was watching Avatar reactions daily. The cops beating on Matt, not knowing he has abilities, looks bad since they were beating up a blind guy. Well, they knew he was blind to begin with, but also, yeah, they definitely did not understand the gravity of the situation they found themselves in. The only thing I'm curious about is the writer's room with CW smoking when they were making the show, to the point the script got approved and the cast and characters, and they filmed anything. I don't know, man. The only thing I'm curious about, oh, you rewrote that. Where's your part 2? Before they realized they messed up and they might have been on something when writing the script. I'm just confused why the fuck there wasn't any checking before it got improved. I have no idea, man. I have no idea who thought that was going to be a good idea. When White Tiger went to protect the guy at the station, those guys could have showed their badge anytime instead of the fight escalating. It's because they weren't on duty. That kid was probably, who knows, maybe dealing, maybe did something petty. And since they got that tattoo, we know what that means in the real world. So they were probably just being vigilantes in their own right. And then this guy is trying to break that up. And they only brought out the badges when it would benefit them. Twisted the story as they were accosting and exhorting and overusing their force and overextending their bounds of the law, as they were not in uniform and not on duty. And they weren't undercover. They were just being vigilantes themselves in their own way. But I don't know. Fuck them. Yeah. God. Anyway. Kind of out of pocket. Weird question. But do you have any tips for someone who is growing out their hair? Don't cut it. I don't do anything with mine other than wash it. Other than that, it just does its thing. Lately, since I've been trying to like not wear this as much, I've been using like some styling cream to kind of help keep it out of my face without it looking all crusty and goopy. But mean, that's the only thing I add to the mix, but it's not often. Have you seen Disney XD show Lab Rats or Mighty Med? Never heard of either one of those. Omni the Goat, thank you. Also, I wonder what the guy did. Same. Why were they? What made them feel the need to go to that length against this guy? What happened? Have you ever watched One Tree Hill? I think I watched the first couple of episodes, but I didn't stick with it. Last of Us 2 trailer just dropped. I have been informed previously. I was eating sushi and accidentally ate wasabi and burnt my tongue. Wasabi is disgusting. I mean, in small doses, it's fine. I'm sad Invincible finishes next week. I'm excited because I'll have a little bit more time to work on everything else. That's the only thing. I'm excited to see what happens. But as far as like, when a show ends anymore, I'm also depends on the show, but like sometimes I'm just like, oh, thank goodness, I'm going to be less busy. Gotta go watch a DBZ reaction. See ya. Later. Enjoy. A little surprised George R. R. Martin is able to say publicly he may not finish the Game of Thrones books. I'm surely he has a deal with the publisher to write specific amount. That's what I would think too. I'm so confused about his entire situation. If he doesn't finish that, then they'll surely put him in breach of contract and he'd have to return any advance he received from them, unless he didn't get one. Which, okay, he can most likely afford that, but he's pissing off the fans and not any other publisher would trust him again. Seems so odd. I agree. I don't understand. I don't get it. Have you ever watched Dark Oracle back in the 2000s? No, never heard of it. I assume he means that Doom guy is not supposed to talk, so having him talk would be a travesty of the source material. Oh, I mean, I guess. Okay, I mean, I get that. I guess. I thought he was saying that Doom guy and John both are silent protagonists, and I guess I got confused. Speaking of non-talking protagonists, do you agree or disagree that Link is a mute? I disagree. I mean, most protagonist characters in any RPG, a lot of the time they're not voiced to help you immerse yourself, but characters actively respond to things apparently you said or say. So like, and that happens all the time. I know in some versions he is, canonically, but I think in most of them, I think it's just for the RPG immersion part. Also, most of the consoles don't have voice acting in a lot of their games, period. I don't know. I'm curious. So if you had, would you be okay with a Legend of Zelda where Link talked? I would be, as long as it was not like the 80s cartoon and he wasn't having that surfer dude bro bullshit accent that he had. And he was like, excuse me, princess. Oh my God. Anyway, did you watch the Witcher anime film last month, Omni? I didn't bother watching it yet. I'm just playing the games and reading the books now. Did it come out already? The one with the original VA? If it came out already, I didn't even know it came out yet. Do you think Last of Us Season 2 will be good? I mean, if Season 1's any indicator, yeah. I mean, hell, Part 2's a decent, good game. Not as good as the first game, but still really good. D. Cole, you've asked me this 3 weekends in a row, and every time I've said Tommy Vercetti. Let's see. Master Chief taking off his helmet is to the Halo fan base what Doom guy talking would be to the Doom fan base. Okay, I disagree with that stance with a lot of the Halo fans. Because even in the games, John only has the helmet on when he's on a mission. So, like when he's in base, when he's off duty, hell, even at the end of Halo 1, at the end of Halo 4, and at certain points in, maybe not Infinite, but you know, he takes his helmet off. He doesn't live in the suit. He desuits at the end of 4, completely strips the suit at the end of Halo 4. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's hyperbole. I mean, I think a lot of it comes from because in the game, a lot of our time is in the heat of the in the heat of the fray. Now, I do think he takes his helmet off an egregious amount. Sometimes just to be there and then put it back on, which makes no sense. That makes no sense. That's stupid. Like, there's a lot of times where they're just like, we just need to show this guy's face just fucking because. Like in these situations where it doesn't make sense. Like when they're out in this atmosphere in which they do not know or trust, and he's just like, and he looks around and he's just like, puts it back on, and then puts it like when he was driving the Warthog, I forget which episode it was in season 1, to go to his familial home. He had it on, he put it on just to drive the Warthog and then took it back off. Like stuff like that's stupid. But I think the fan base got really overblown on it. So Master Chief is not a Mandalorian. He is definitely not. Because if you read the books, which I have, not all of them by any stretch, because there's a fuck ton of them, he's very frequently without helmet. So like, I don't know. She-Hulk was a great shame it wasn't received so well. Yeah, agreed. Do you think that it's a coincidence so many people are vocal about not liking She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, the Marvels, or sexism? I think that's part of it. I mean, the tone, the vibe, and the sitcom-y element of She-Hulk, I can get it. Or the humor, maybe not working, but there was a lot of blatant sexism with She-Hulk. 100%, 1000%. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some valid criticisms, but I think the loudest majority of the critiques are 100% people not like proving the show's message almost 100% accurate and not understanding that aspect. The last of the season 2 trailer just released. Now I just saw, haven't watched it yet though, probably won't until later. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I probably won't react to it, but I just know that I will be there to watch the show when it comes out. Which Marvel character would Batman respect? I think he'd respect Tony. I mean, Tony, in a way, like intelligence-wise, they're very much on par. And he's also comes up with all these, like even when Batman pisses off his friends, the other Leaguers and stuff like that, because they find out he's been planning on how to take them all out in case he needs to. We've seen that happen with Tony. He'd probably respect the lengths that Tony's gone to have these fallback plans in case something were to happen with any of his own colleagues. Also, I do think he would respect Captain America. I don't know if there's anybody he wouldn't necessarily respect, but I think those two primarily. I think he would agree with both sides of their argument. Fan cast for Apocalypse. When they get X-Men is Christopher Judge. I'd be fine with that. Original Daredevil was going to be a variant. Yep, that's correct. I want the comic that was a Doctor Who Star Trek Next Generation crossover, but that's hard to find. I would imagine so. She-Hulk wasn't as bad as most people thought it was. Also glad that you loved the post-credit scene of the 3rd episode. Those killer hips. One thing I am ticked about is when Midnight Suns was released, it had a post-credit scene that teased Doctor Doom with the Darkhold, or whatever it's called, the evil book from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But since nobody bought it and underperformed, we may never see, which makes me mad because that concept is so freaking cool. I mean, that makes sense with what they were doing with that universe too, with the whole like, hellscape demon thing that was going on. I could have been cool. Someone made art of Laura Cohen as the Joker, and it was cool. I've seen it, and it looks fantastic. There's people that have made art of Jeffrey Dean as Thomas Wayne, and it looked fantastic. It's just such a missed opportunity, man. And we could have had Reverse Flash and not that bullshit garbage Ezra Miller crap in the fucking movie. Never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. You are doing yourself a disservice. You must see it one day. Batman Part 2 releases in 20 years when Robert's in his 60s. There's a live stream with the Last of Us cast and the show creators, which I have my eye on for no reason at all. Well, you should. The animated series. Yeah, the animated series specifically is what I meant. It's kind of crazy that the Doomsday movie is in production and there has been no build up really. I'm thinking Fantastic Four movie end credit is going to show something. I mean, Brave New World's post-credit scene sets up what is coming, but it's like the only thing. Well, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is ending. Kind of tease it up. We've had 2 very minuscule tee-ups, and I guess the Marvels, 3. We've had 3 tee-ups for what is kind of to come, but it's not like, oh, Thanos is after the Infinity Stones. It's like, we don't know. Like, we don't have like a plot, a plan, and anything. Like, the seeds are there in multiple post-credit scenes, but the big picture isn't as clear like it was in phases 1 through 3, you know? Always say not having Reed Richards and Doctor Doom know each other in the MCU is a choice, to say the least. Internal fan rage, but if they manage to pull it off, I will at least give them a try. Give them that. Hell yeah. What are your overall thoughts on season 5 of Harley Quinn so far? I like the first half a lot. These last couple of episodes have been all right. It's been okay. I haven't been like, it's been funny, but like, I'm just kind of like, it doesn't have the momentum the first couple of episodes have had. I feel like it's hit like a little bit of a lull. Still funny, still good, but the first half is very good. The new Hunger Games book, Sunrise on the Reaping, releases in days. I'm hyped to get it. Hell yeah. Excuse me, princess, gets me every time. I'm still not feeling like doing Walking Dead Dead City. I am still not planning to do any Walking Dead spinoffs. So Master Chief on Mandalorian, which are anime released this past Valentine's Day. Oof. Oh well, missed that train. What are you most hyped for and why? Andor season 2 or The Last of Us season 2? Andor season 2. Easily. Dredd doesn't take his helmet off in Carl Urban's Dredd movie, but Stallone does. Still never seen the Carl Urban one. I've never seen firsthand the Stallone one. I've seen many a breakdown of that movie. Iron Man, surely, right? Jinx. Hehe. You think? Good minds. I'm watching season 3 of Superman and Lois again to get ready to watch the final season, which I haven't yet. Good luck. It's good. It's not like a bad thing, but yeah, it's just emotional, man. Batman would respect Spider-Man. I think so. Which threequel would you want to keep canon and forget about the other? Alien 3 or Shrek the Third? Alien 3, because that would get rid of the deaths at the opening of the movie. I still hate that decision. I don't know if you talked about this already previously, but what are your thoughts on RDJ playing Doctor Doom? It's definitely a choice. I would have preferred it to be somebody else, but if this plays into whatever they're doing for the future, I don't imagine after Secret Wars and Doomsday and all this stuff, he will stay. But it depends on what they're doing. He's a great actor. There's some fun, interesting things they can do with that, but we'll see. I think the next big villain after Doom is Apocalypse or Galactus. Could be. What'd you think of the CGI on She-Hulk herself? Most of the time it was pretty good. Sometimes it was a little rough, but it's a fully CGI character. It was hard to do, but it wasn't distracting. It didn't bother me in the slightest. Still going, 6:20. We're almost there. I'm almost caught up. Only 3 minutes behind now. Did you know that Lego doesn't do Deadpool and Wolverine Lego sets? This one, a movie that came out, the Lego the Wolverine didn't get any level sets because they skipped out on it. Probably because it was rated R. Gotta agree with you about season 5. It doesn't feel as great anymore. Yeah, same. This might be a stupid question, but is this live? It is! As indicated by the live indicator on your screen. But then again, I guess I could have pre-recorded this and then jumped through it up as a live. I mean, that's something that you could do. Feels like they've had more for season 5 of Harley Quinn planned, but they had to cram in all into 10 episodes. Yeah, since it is lower than their previous episode count, so maybe. Alien 3 can burn it with fire, yes. Haven't watched Dredd. You have to. It's so freaking. You have to. It's so freaking awesome. I've heard the first one's really good, or not the first one. I heard the Carl Urban one's actually really underrated, really good. So I'm mentioning copy and paste in the chat. I do agree though. Different after would be preferred. I do hope that after we do get somebody new. Also really don't care for Clayface anymore. His main episode was maybe the weakest of the season. Agreed. Agreed. Carl is great, and I want a sequel. Hey adults, buy Legos, damn it. The company doesn't, they don't cater to you all. Dark Oracle is about two teenagers who are siblings, and they find this comic book that is linked to their lives. The comic shows future events, and sometimes the comic book shows how they die. That's interesting. I think RDJ playing Doctor Doom could lead to an emotional confrontation with Spider-Man. That is one of the things I'm hoping for. That for our characters who are in a world that was birthed and predicated by Iron Man and the face they are now fighting as their enemy, there's something very interesting you can explore with that, especially with Peter, about the psychological warfare that would be. Like, what would that be like to fight against this person that died on your world, saving everybody? Like, he started all of this. He helped mentor so many of these people that are here there. His memory still echoes on to this day. And now that face is here to destroy you all. I think there's really some interesting shit to do with that. So I'm hoping they lean into that. Clayface was honestly better as a side comic relief character than having a full-on episode dedicated to him. Agree. I think Annihilus is a cool comic villain they could use as well. Cool. Does Doctor Doom show his face? He has, but very rarely, to my knowledge. But I am not a huge Marvel comic knowledge guy. Love reactions. You ever plan on doing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Maybe eventually, but not anytime soon at the moment. Have you ever watched She-Hulk and the Agents of Smash? If not, it's animated series, I believe, from the early 2010s that had Hulk fight alongside Scar, Red Hulk, and She-Hulk, and a bomb. I think there's a part 2 coming, but I'll go ahead and say no. Do you think Sentry would have worked as a Saga villain, Omni? Probably not. Sentry's powerful, don't get me wrong, but as like a Saga villain, I'm not sure about. He definitely could be, I guess, but I don't know if he's an interesting Saga villain. How many Funkos do I have? I'm just asking. Definitely over 140 the last time I counted. I can't believe Joel is... Whoop. Cole, what the fuck? Anyway. Also, this is the first time that I saw characters like Red Hulk, She-Hulk, and Bomb, as well as other characters like Game Master and the Collector before they came to the MCU. Lego... what was I saying? Lego should know their buyers are mostly adults. Let's be real. Kids ain't gonna buy the collector's editions. I guess that's true. But they have an icon. They have a brand to uphold, an image. I have 11 Funko Pops. Scar 2. Have you seen the trailer for Expedition 33? Have I? The title sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen the trailer. And no, I didn't miss the first part. I read the first part. Yes. I answered. Let's see. I've seen it. Maybe we do need mods in here. Yeah, we probably should. I need to get some more mods. The ones I used to have just don't show up that often, or at all anymore, except for Barry. But she's always busy lately. Kids can't afford Legos. True. But image. Here's my pitch. Omni Tuesday ends with Doctor Doom winning and creating Battle World, and then he takes off his mask, and Peter Parker says his old mentor says, Mr. Stark, cuts to black. That'd be cool. Everyone has gone quiet at the moment. Hope it stays that way, because I'm going to bed soon. Expedition 30 is coming out April. It's done by a French studio, so it'll be different. I'll have to look into it, see what that's about. But yeah, we're definitely I'm gonna have to like upgrade some mods at this point. So yeah, anyway, please watch Carl's Dread. Add it to the list of things you are going to pester me about. Go to see the Avengers Doomsday trailer surpassing Infinity War in terms of views on YouTube. I mean, maybe. Doubt it, but maybe. Considering I don't know if there's that as much hype around this event as there was for Infinity War, but we'll see. But guys, we've caught up with the chat. I'm going to go hop off and get some dinner, and I'll see you guys next week for another little discussions or little talks. Actually, I'm on call next week, so I may or may not stream. So just know that for work, I am on call, may not be streaming next week, just in case. Don't know yet, we'll see. But in the meantime, if I do, if I don't, have a good rest of your weekend, have a good week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.